Hey everybody, it's Paul. I want to do a follow-up to my putting video the other day on regards of what's the best type of putter. So the best type of putter is all depending on the person, and I'm going to show you today a test that I did on my putting monitor, which gives me readings of face angle and impact and rotation, and let you see which is the best for me and how those results changed as I went from head to head. So I've got three different putters that I went through. I have an Odyssey double wide, and we can see here that this has got a severe kind of toe hang to it. It's probably running at around 45, 47 degrees of toe hang, or maybe even a little bit more. Then we have the Odyssey number 7, and I can see that the toe hang on this is also fairly severe, but it's certainly not as severe as the blade. And then I have the new Odyssey number 12 face balanced. And this one, you can see here the face balance is up. There's no toe hang to it. So as I discussed in the previous video, toe hang influences the closure of your face depending on your stroke. And that the more rounded your stroke is, the more arcing, the more toe hang you need so that the toe doesn't come closed on you. But it also makes it harder to close. And the more straight back, straight through, the more face balance suits you because you don't open and close as much. So let's see what happens when I put these three different putters into play and look at the results of it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take a look at a table that explains the impact face angle in degrees in relationship to the distance of putt and what the chance of making a putt at a certain distance and a certain face angle are. So if we look at the top, we can see the standard putting hole is 4¼ inches wide. So that means that half of the hole is 2.125. So anything more than 2.125 inches offline from center of the cup is not going to hit the cup. So let's look down at the bottom. So our left-hand axis going down in numbers in black and white is the impact face angle in degrees. So these are degrees away from being square, and they start at 0.2 degrees and go down to 5 degrees. And these can be open or closed, it doesn't matter. And across the top, we have distance of putt in feet. So we have putts ranging from 3 feet to 20 feet. Now, at every face angle, there is a certain length that you can still make a putt before you miss it. All the green are putts that would go in because we see the green numbers. None of those are more than 2.15 inches off center. They're all down in within probably 1 degree or so. So they're all going to go in because they're all center of the cup. And if I look at 0.2, I can see that I make all those putts. At 0.5, I make them up to 10 feet. At 0.8, I make them up to 6. And at 1 degree, I make it up to 5 feet. And at 1.5 degree, I'm only making it at 3 feet. Then the yellow squares come into play. The yellow squares are ones that are still inside that half a cup. So they're still inside that 2.125 inches, but they are pace dependent. So they have to just pour in and fall in. They can't go in with any kind of authority. And I can see that we make those at 0.5, I'm still good up to 20 feet. But at 0.8, I only make it at 12 feet. And at 1, I'm only good at 10 feet, and so on and so on. Then the red are putts that are not going in because all those numbers are outside of 2.125 inches, which is half the width of the cup. So reds don't go in, yellows go in with a bit of pace, and green will go in fairly good with authority. So I can see here that as I go down the left side, and my club face starts to change from more than 0.2, 0.5 degrees, that I start to get short on the putts that I will make. So at 2 degrees, open or closed, I can make a putt up to 5 feet, depending on the pace. At 6 feet, it physically misses the hole. At 5 degrees, open or closed, I don't touch the hole at all, not even from 3 feet. So we can basically see that essentially once we get up past 0.5 or 0.6 of a club face angle, our chances of making any kind of putts really just plummet. So now let's have a look at some data of the three different putters, knowing that toe hang helped me open or close the club face. Okay, here's data collected from a putting launch monitor that I have. It's an Odyssey Fit system, and I did 3 different putters. So we can see that the most toe hang one, which is on the bottom, the Stroke Lab double wide, that gave me a score of 58% suitability. And we can see if we look at the face angle, which is the one next to it, it was on an average of 2.2 degrees open. And we saw on our chart that at 2.2 degrees open, we've got a very small window of putts that we can make. Then I went to the Odyssey Stroke Lab 7, which had a little bit less toe hang, which is a little bit easier to close. And now I'm open 1.6 degrees instead of the 2.2. And at 1.6, my window for making putts grows longer than at 2.2. Then we get to our last putter, the one that's highlighted in gold. It shows as an Odyssey 10, but it's actually an Odyssey 12. I've got a face angle of 0.5. And at 0.5, I'm pretty well good right up through most of those distances. And most of it, the putt will go in fairly firm. It's only the last couple of feet that it is on pace dependency. So, exact same swing, exact same stroke, exact same amount of practice. All 3 putters performed completely different. There is definitely a better one because based on the chart that we looked at 2.2, I essentially am only going to make a putt at probably about 3 to 3.5 feet long, and that has to be pace dependent. At 1.6, my putt will go in at 3 feet, but at 4, 5, and 6 feet, it is really pace dependent. And at 0.5, the putt will go into the hole easily at 10 feet, and then at 12, 15, and 20 feet, it is pace dependent. So I'm going from the best, which is it's hitting the hole at 10 feet, to hitting the hole only at 3 feet, and then the last one is not hitting the hole in the middle at all, and it may fall in the edge if the pace is correct. So is there a benefit to getting fit? Absolutely. If I pick a putter based on looks and I'm picking the one that's the worst one for me, I'm going to struggle all the time. I'm never going to hit the hole, or I'm only going to hit it occasionally, and a lot of that would be luck. When I pick a putter that's based on performance, I now have 10-foot putts, 12-foot putts going in. My alignment is good. The face is set up for me to have success. So if you're going to buy a putter, make sure it gets fit. I hope you found this helpful. I'm Paul Kelly. Thanks for watching.